Start recording. So first thing I want you to do is to go to the draft settings, or let's see here. Yeah, make sure this is turned on, the ortho mode on the bottom. If you right click snap settings or grid settings, I think that'll be good. We need to get in here and turn on the isometric snap here. And that should be good. All right. So first thing I want you to do is after you set that up, notice how this kind of has like a pseudo 3D perspective. So kind of like when artists make 3D objects on paper, it appears to be 3D, but in reality, it's a 2D drawing, right? With a 3D perspective. So in this chapter, you need to do isometric drafting. So over here on the lower right, you can decide how to do what type of perspective you want. So if I do left, let me turn it on. See how right now it's left plane. So my grid and my cursor is on top of the left side. And then if I were to switch to top view, notice how the cursor is from the top perspective. And then of course the right perspective. So for what I want you to do is switch to, well, first switch to left perspective, make sure it's turned on and your cursor's on the left. Okay. The other thing, I want you to make your grid to be 1, just to make it easy. We can count the squares. So I want you to make this L figure using the line tool. So just go 4 units out, 1 unit thick, 3 units tall. So make this L using the left iso plane on the wall here. I'll wait a couple of minutes because I'd like you to give it a shot. I just want to make sure you type grid and turn it into 1 units, Dylan. And when you go to right click the grid settings, make sure the isometric snap is turned on. And over here, make sure it's turned on as well. Oh, the dimensions of the L, I see what you're talking about, sorry. So 3 units tall, 4 units long here, or whatever, height of 3, length of 4. This thickness here should be 1. So 3. This is 1. Biscuits. Three. 1. All right. Now wait a bit. Make sure you, I think someone just entered the room. Make sure You turn on the isometric drafting down here. Pick left. Make sure that this is turned on, the ortho mode. And this is 3 units this way, or sorry, 4 units this way, 3 units up, 1 unit thick. So just using little squares, that's all. Okay. All right, so once you've made the L, you guys ready for the next step? Alrighty, so switch to top view. So click right here, the drop down box, switch to top. So notice how the cursor is now hovering as if we're looking from above, because we are. I want you to copy this whole thing and move it 4 units away down this way. So copy. Base point, I'll pick this corner edge here and move it 4 units away. There we go. Should be good. Now I want you to use the line tool and connect all the corners to make like a little box. Just like this. Let's close it all off. Making my pseudo 3D drawing. So we're not in actual 3D yet, but I think it's good to learn these types of perspectives. All right. Anyone have any issues with the top view and copying the L? You guys okay? All right. So we're gonna do the chamfer or chamfer, however you want to say it. I forget the actual term, but we're gonna do that to the edges here. So right here where it has the fillet and chamfer, etc. Click on the chamfer. Click the edge here. And click the second edge down here. Oops, let me do that again. Click chamfer and then choose distance. And you choose a distance first. So the first chamfer distance should be 1, second one should be 1. So now then click the line. So this edge right here and then that edge there. See how it does a little chamfer? Space bar to repeat, that way we don't have to keep doing that over and over again. There we go. Make my little chair thing here. At this point, let's delete all the garbage we don't need. Let's see here. Erase. Go to that guy. Get rid of this guy, this guy. Get rid of this object. There you go. Looks like a bed, kind of. All right. So now let's try doing the in the book, they have this example. They make a hole, kind of like a drill hole. Let's go ahead and make that. So since we're using the isometric planes, we should use iso circles to help us make the drawings. So if you type ellipse, EL, when you call the ellipse command, you can do arc or center, but we want to use iso circle because we're using iso planes right now. So click the iso circle. Now, I want to center it right in the middle of this bed here. I need to turn on my centers, midpoints, etc., endpoints. There we go. So I'm resummon the circle, iso circle. So I'm going to try to center this guy. So there's the center of that line segment, this line segment. All right, wait a stain. Stupid thing. Oh, here we go. Make sure the reference lines are on so you can kind of use them to guide you. So here is the exact center. Click my, it shows iso circle, right? Biscuits. Do that again. You can also measure and use a draw a reference line if you want to. It's whatever. Okay, so there's the exact center, iso circle. So notice how when I use an iso circle, it's creating a radius based on the plane that I'm looking at. So since I'm looking from the top view, then the circle is being created at that perspective. You see that? So it's from the top, which is going to be very helpful. So type 1 radius for the circle. So we can start creating our drill hole. So it should be an ellipse, iso circle, radius 1. All right, now we're going to copy this 1 unit down right below this circle to give an appearance of depth. So ellipse, center, and let me turn on the center. Yeah, it's on. Yeah, we're good. There we are. Actually, it'd be easier to just copy, actually. Copy the circle, enter, choose a reference point. So right from the center, shifted down 1. But notice how I'm having trouble to get it right in the middle. So you need to turn off the ortho mode. So now it's not a big deal. So I can go down exactly 1 right there. Copy. Okay. So now we're going to use the trim to cut away things that are in our way to give this perspective the appearance of depth. See how it looks like there's a hole in there now, right? I'll wait a bit because I don't want to go too fast. So you guys have any issues with the iso circle or the chamfer? I know sometimes the chamfer can be difficult. It gives me trouble once in a while. I forget the order or whatever if I don't do it often enough. You guys able to get these curves or these little edges? All right. Okay, then. So now let's practice typing text on different planes. So like I want to write the word, I don't know, top right here and left and right. Okay. You guys have any question before I move on to the next thing? Well, I'm gonna add 2 lines here. And turn on my ortho back on. So add these lines right here. There we go. That's better. All right. All right, so let's go practice the annotation stuff for different perspectives. All right, so manage the text styles. So we're gonna make a few new text styles that you don't have probably. Let's create a new one. We'll call this one ISO text 30. So go to text style down here. I want you to make the height, well, actually make the oblique angle of 30 right here. And we'll use height of 0.3 right there. Okay. Apply. So we got ISO text. So let's make a new one. This time we'll make ISO text -30. On this one, we will have a negative oblique angle here. Same height, and just hit apply. So now we have the standard text, negative oblique, and positive oblique. So that way it'll type the text in different directions. Okay. Alrighty. So we're gonna apply the ISO text 30. So choose the 30. Make sure it's selected. And I'm going to write the word right in front and top of this, on the front of this edge right here. So in order to do so, we should switch to the right plane. So notice how now my cursor is right in front of it, so I can start typing here. So do a single line text with the ISO 30. So I'm gonna type it right here, I guess, is what I was. Right. So for typing the angle, put the angle of 30 here and start typing the word right. So notice how it's there along this edge, right? Using the little template that I made. So now let's do the same thing. Switch to ISO text -30. And let's switch to top view. So top view. So now notice how the cursor's on top. So I'm gonna write the text right here. It's a single line text. I'm gonna choose right there in that spot, kind of the center-ish. Use an angle of -30. See if that works. I forget the angle. Oops, no, that's wrong. My bad. So right there, +30. So top. So notice how now it's right above, right? Going along that edge of the plane. So let's repeat this with the left side. So now I'm on the left. So here, single line text. Put it about there, I guess. This time use -30 for the angle and type the word left. So there's my left side, right side, top side. You guys have any questions on what an isoplane is and how to switch back and forward? I recommend saving these to a template. That way you can use them whenever, you know what I mean? All right, your homework is 11.4. Let me, I don't know how to do that. Give me a second. All right, guys, let me share my PDF real quick. So this is the design you're going to be doing for 11.4. Let me see here. Yeah. So as for the most part, it looks like it's going to be on the left plane, but you may need to switch depending on what's going on. Let me read through this real quick. Yeah. So these are the actual measurements and guidelines. So I'm not going to make you do make you measure it here. So what I want to see is a one layer, or yeah, one layer has this design, and you can do the guideline here and the cross section on different layers if you like. I put this in a different layer as well. So this will be the only measurements I'm going to require. Let me show you what the end result should look like to kind of help you out here, because this is a little difficult. So oh shit, I don't know why it's not working. Yeah, can you guys see the part flange coupling? So notice how, let's see if I can get kind of better perspective here. So if you click this guy, see how this is like technically it's an iso circle. They just need to cut away the parts you don't need. So it'll be on that plane, but you're going to cut away those parts. Okay. I highly recommend you make this line first to guide you, and then go from there. Like these are all separate parts here. See that? These are arcs. You can so technically it's an entire circle, but you're going to cut away most of that. So I recommend doing it this way. Okay. Let's see what the book says. Yeah, so we just use so you're using iso circles on that plane. So you can, and you'll just trim away the extra stuff. So basically, like I showed you earlier, that was one circle right here. You just trim away that excess to make a circle, and then make these edges and then trim. Okay. That makes sense. All right.